Coming to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eagar, Arizona.
A trip to the 26 Bar Ranch in eastern Arizona.
In northern Arizona is some of the most beautiful country in the United States. It is on what is called the Mogollon Rim, which runs almost clear across Arizona. And the altitude is from about 7,000 feet to 12,000 feet. The word Mogollon means the Mogollon people, which were the ancient tribes that lived in this area hundreds of years ago. Today, many people call it John Wayne Country because he made so many films in this area. And because one of the two ranches that he had in Arizona is in this part of the country, in what is called the White Mountains. The ranch is commonly known in this part of Arizona as John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch.
This is a shot from about 2 miles away of the 26 Bar Ranch. The ranch of John Wayne the Duke.
In the 1960s and the 1970s, John Wayne and his partner Lewis Johnson had two ranches in Arizona, the Red River Ranch and the 26 Bar Ranch in Eagar, Arizona.
As you can see from this stone marker, the 26 Bar Hereford Ranch was once owned and often visited by film legend John Wayne. The ranch, with its prominent white snow barn, came into fame in the 40s as the Milky Way Hereford Ranch, owned by the Mars Candy Bar Company.
Here is a shot of the main ranch house at the 26 Bar Ranch in Eagar, Arizona.
That was the main ranch house. Now we have the guest house. The horse barns. And of course, in back of the barns, the guest houses and the main house is all 26 Bar Ranch. The sun coming up at the 26 Bar Ranch.
The ranch is made up of more than 65,000 acres.
Some of the cattle in the morning right outside the front door. Well, the sun's up. Here's a shot of the main ranch house. And the guest house and the flagpole.
How about some good old home movies of John Wayne at the 26 Bar Ranch in Eagar, Arizona? John Wayne never forgot the people that made him a superstar. He would spend as much time with them as they wanted.
Waiting in Laramie. She waited there a year, maybe two. Do you know why my love didn't marry me? She
Here's some of the cattle that were in the cattle sale.
someone new.
And here's a young
What you think?
yearling bull that went up for auction.
I found me some
Even the young ladies liked the Duke.
and drank me some drink that was strong. And then I found
Here's Pilar Wayne, Duke's wife,
I found a love
and Michael Wayne. He's camera shy, talking to his old man here.
I knew, and true love will marry
Let's
me.
learn a little bit about this man we call the Duke. John Wayne got his start in films in the late 1920s and early 1930s. He was in what were called B westerns. And of course, there was always plenty of action.
Oh, thank you. He's my brother.
Well, it's lucky I saw him. He might have hurt that hombre.
Say, if you hadn't stopped me, then I could handle him all right.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing?
I'm arresting Arizona for the murder of Cal Brett.
You can't prove that. I'm warning you, Steele. You'll never get out of here alive with Arizona.
Shoot out the lights.
And of course, he would always rescue the girl. And his horse, his miracle horse, was called Duke. This went on for many years until finally in 1939, the famous movie producer and director John Ford asked him to play the part of the Ringo Kid in the classic movie Stagecoach. This would make John Wayne one of the most famous movie stars of all time. He would go on to make many Western films in northern Arizona. Starting out with The Angel and the Bad Man, Fort Apache, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, and Rio Grande done in Moab, Utah. Let's take a little trip of the main ranch house. Well, let's go in and have a look around. Here's the living room, and all the walls are done in knotty pine. And of course, a wood-burning fireplace and ceiling fans. Here's a look at the dining room with the 100-year-old furniture. Well, we'll take a little break here and wait for the cowboys to get back from town with the lunch. A little story about John Wayne on his first trip to the high country after they had purchased the ranch.
Well, the guests at the ranch here had found a horny toad. I think it's a baby. And this is the line shack that Duke rode into years ago. And when he was up in the high country here to see what the high country looked like, and he was went into the cabin in a bad thunderstorm, and the cowboys were talking about the fact that we're in here, that the ranch had been sold. And one of the cowboys said, well, we understand that he's a Hollywood Yahoo SOB, and Duke, of course, didn't say anything. And the next day, when they all came down to meet the new owners, they introduced John Wayne, the Duke, and he stood up and said, well, when I was up at the line shack yesterday, you guys were talking about the Hollywood Yahoo SOB that bought the ranch. That must be me. Everybody had a big laugh. This is one of the huge meadows in the high country, and the spring that feeds the water to the line shack is right out here in front of us. And this is elk country. Right over there in the high mountain country is where the ski area is at. That's called Sunrise.
There are two line shacks up here in the high country about a mile apart, and are only used in the summertime because there can be as much as 3 and 4 foot of snow in the wintertime.
And this is the exterior of the horse barn. We're now in the first class horse barn, and as you can see, everything is just like it should be for raising first class horses.
Out in front of the main house and the horse barn, you can see a prize bull with the 26 bar brand on his left shoulder. Well, that's about it. We'll get back to the main ranch house in just a few minutes.
My name is William T. Brooks. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona in 1931. But most people just call me Chili Bill. They call me Chili Bill because back in the 1960s, I won the Universal Chili Society World Championship. Rio Bravo.
Well, watch him. I'm going after Duke.
You get on with him. I would.
Well, here's Stumpy's shotgun. And right down below it is Stumpy's jug. Now we move on over here, and you'll see one of Duke's hats back here. And then, remember the film True Grit, when he says, "Fill your hand, you son of a bitch!" And he spins his rifle, and then they charge each other, and all the shooting starts. That's it.
Well, Duke won his only Oscar for the movie True Grit, where he played the cantankerous old Marshal, Rooster Cogburn.
One of Duke's hats. Now this hat, I am told, is the one that was worn in The Cowboys. Now The Cowboys, of course, was a very sad movie because poor old Duke got killed off in the end of it. And he would put on different hat bands, you know, for different movies. This, you can see that how worn it is right there in front where he used to grab the hat. Well, that's it. You've all heard about Red River. Well, Red River was a big film for the Duke. And here is the buckle, Red River D. Now next to that is a very special pistol. This pistol was one of 4 pistols that were used in the film The Shootist. Now The Shootist was his last film. In those days, the pistols were supplied by Duke. One of Duke's friends had started a company, and his friend's name was Audie Murphy. Does anybody remember Audie Murphy? He was the most decorated hero in the Second World War. Well, when they came back from the war, they found out that Colt Arms had quit making the Peacemaker. So they all wondered where they were going to be able to get the Frontier-styled pistols to be used in the films. Well, Audie Murphy went to Spain and Italy and had them made up there, and then he shipped them back to the United States. And so most of the pistols that you saw in the 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe even the 80s, were by his company, which was called Great Western Firearms. So that's the pistol, one of the pistols out of the Shootist. There was 4 of them. A trip to the 26 Bar Ranch in eastern Arizona. My name is William T. Brooks. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona in 1931. But most people just call me Chili Bill. They call me Chili Bill because back in the 1960s, I won the Universal Chili Society World Championship. But my real claim to fame is
I now run the John Wayne Museum at the 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona.
Now, I'm told that he rode this in the Rose Bowl Parade, and then every year in Eager, Springerville, two little towns out in the middle of nowhere in eastern Arizona, he would be the Grand Marshal of the parade over there. And here's these two little dinky towns in Middle America. A lot of people don't know that Duke owned a island down off the coast of Panama. This picture here of Duke with the two sailfish that he was so proud of. And if you'll notice, he's got on shorts, and all the women that come in, they say, "My goodness, he's got good-looking legs." Any woman would be proud to have those legs. But these were the cartridges for this commemorative rifle that was right over here. And you can see right here where it says John Wayne Commemorative. And this was given to him by the Winchester Company or Corporation. Right up, you've got a deputy show badge of his, and you have the gold medal that was given to him by the Congress of the United States. Now, Maureen O'Hara and Elizabeth Taylor went before the Congress and got this gold medal for him because up till that time, there was only a handful of non-military type people or presidents that had one of these. Duke became one of them. Next to that is a pair of Duke's chaps, or in Spanish, chapaderos, and they looked pretty good size, but they only hit him about where his calves were at because he was such a tall man. Now, right next to that is a rieta. Now, rieta is a Mexican rope, and it's braided from rawhide. Now, next to that is a statue that was given to him by the Hopi Indian tribe because of all the good things that he did for the Native Americans. When the movie companies would move in, Duke always shared all the money with them and really got them out of some bad straits. Next to that is one of his bullwhips. Now, this is a long bullwhip. This one's 12 foot long, quite a bit longer than the ones that you normally see.
In 1970, John Wayne became a Freemason at the urging of his friend and mentor, Barry Goldwater. Here he receives his King James Bible and his Masonic apron. Then went on to become the highest that you could go, a 33rd degree Mason. Now let's get on back to the home movies with Duke and his fans.
I'm a roving cowboy, far away from home.
And he would not forget any of them.
Where I used to roam, where the doggies wander, and the wind blows.
Would sign all of the programs for him.
On the lone prairie,
hug all the ladies that wanted to be hugged, and of course the little ones.
Where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free, and when I die, you can bury me.
And everybody wanted to have their picture taken with the Duke.
On the lone prairie. Give me back my saddle, give me back my gun, give me back that bronco that I used to run. Let me spread my blanket by a peaceful stream, hear the cowboys singing by the campfire gleam. Oh, carry me back to the lone prairie, where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free, and when I die, you can bury me.
And this young couple just had to have their picture taken with John Wayne. And he said, "Come on back. The chili and barbecue is just about ready." John Wayne was just about everything that a man could be in his lifetime. And he was a true American patriot. This tells it all.
So that's the story of Duke and me and how this collection came to be. All the people at the 26 Bar Ranch hope to see you soon. Adios.
Some of the prize cattle. And on this bull you can see the 26 Bar brand on his left shoulder. This was brought to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eagar, Arizona.